So I've just been notified like 2 weeks ago that we hit 100 subs, and I wanted to do 100 sub special, but I realized like I didn't have any good ideas. So we're gonna spin the wheel and we're gonna actually do what it says. Editor, can you cross that out and then write knowledge on there? Okay, chill. We're making a knowledge beat today. It's really a mix of a ton of stuff. It's knowledge, Alchemist, Madlib, Griselda, Mobb. It was inspired by knowledge mostly. As you guys probably know, I use Tracklib for most of my stuff, but this one comes from Samplet.io. It's a really cool website, not sponsored. Samplet. You put your parameters into the filter. Hold on, I don't know what's going on here. You put your parameters into the filter. I want the earliest to be in 1970. I want to listen to some jazz music from France. Close. Let's see what comes up. All right, well, I might get copywritten for that, but that's interesting, right? That's weird. It just brings up a lot of lesser known things, especially because there's this thing right here where you can filter by how many views, so you can find like really like unknown videos. But I found this sample from one of them. And I heard that jingling. See, when you're looking for an Alchemist, Mobb, like Neo-BoomBap, Griselda sort of sample, you're looking for sample potential rather than actual like what's in the sample. So like for like a Kanye beat, you're looking for vocals that you can chop up and pitch up, right? But with like the Mobb stuff, you know, they're known for like their Hell on Earth and Shook Ones samples, where you take this piano and you stretch it all the way out and then you create like a new sound with it. So I hear the potential of this sample and I pitch it down to sort of get that like potential sound. Since that jingle was like in the high tone areas, when I pitch it all the way down here, it becomes a mid-tone. So like in ranges, when you're pitching stuff in the 1 to 200 to 300 range, vocals, right? It's still believable when you listen to the song. Maybe it's just a lower tuned song. It'll change how the vocalist sounds, but it's still believable as music. Then 400 to 600, this is around the pitching up for Kanye West stuff, pitching down for everything else. This is when the vocals and instruments start to sound monstrous, or like Chipmunk Soul. Then you pitch out even further. I've never seen anyone pitch a sample up more than 600 cents, because usually it sounds horrible, but pitching it down is fine, because you start to create like this new atmosphere. You start to create stuff that's not really there, if that makes sense. To add to this more grimy, dark sound, I use Cymatics Origin, free plugin, you guys can find it yourself, I'm not linking it. I added some saturation, which like kind of has that like little crunchy compressor feeling, and some movement, which gives it that detuned sort of wobbly thing. A little bit of vinyl static. Here's what it is without this filter. And then here's with the filter. You can see there's a bit of a difference there. With Alchemist, Griselda, Neo-BoomBap stuff, drums, they're usually very simple. Now this might initially not sound that simple, but I'll break it down here. So it is just a normal hi-hat, a normal kick pattern. Boom, 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 boom. And then we have some velocity manipulation here. So the kick that goes into the other kicks is lower. And this sort of creates like a nice bouncy loop, but also has that classic boom-bap feel. To incorporate that Mobb thing, I have a snare. To incorporate that Mobb feel, I have my snare. Something snappy, so it's going to cut through the dark atmosphere that we're going to build here. You route this to another mixer track, and you add reverb to it. See, without this, it sounds like this, which is fine, but it sounds better with this. And that's a classic Mobb technique, to route your drums to a second mixer track and add reverb there, so it has like a little bit of an echo. The last thing is, Knxledge likes to fuck with time signatures, so he'll make a beat in like 120, but it'll sound like it's in like 70 BPM, because of how he'll screw with like double time and whatever. So here we have double time hi-hats, which actually doesn't mean anything. It's just we're playing twice as many hi-hats as there should be. Yeah, we have the swing thing pulled up. This is adding swing to the drums. And what this is doing to the hi-hats is just playing these hi-hats, the second ones, late. So they're swinging into each other. Then we have a little bit of velocity randomness. You can do this by highlighting all of this, going to the wrench, and then clicking randomize. That's going to give this a sort of feel. To incorporate more of that knowledge sort of thing, we have these snares, which play right before the first snare and then at the end of the measure. So in total, it sounds like this. This setting some more bounce, and it comes in handy later when we're going to start talking about adding moments to your music. So in total, everything sounds like this so far. The sample right now, it's like a little heavy, you know, like a weighted blanket, but not in a good way. So in order to sort of cut through this, we're going to add some side chaining. But instead of doing the fruity limiter compressor way, we're going to do the slightly more complex way. So first route your sample to a mixer track, then you're going to right click where it is, and you're going to create automation clip. It's going to create an envelope like this, and you're going to make indents wherever kicks hit. So when a kick hits, it's going to mute the sample. And you can actually, if you watch right here, it should go down whenever the kick hits. Make sure you catch those pre-kicks, because if you don't have them, it's going to sound very inconsistent and weird. But what this is doing is it makes the sample seem more overbearing than it actually is. So like it seems more oppressive because the kick is cutting out certain parts of it. We're doing mental shit right now. We make beats that colleges write articles about. It's a very simple loop. We're just alternating two different sections. So it's also the fuck. It's also this part. And we just play this throughout. It's really just that simple, because simplicity is an important thing in the Neo-BoomBap sphere. It sounds a little complex with like the alternate snares and the double time hi-hats, but that's really just to add flavor, and people don't watch videos about simplicity. So also another Alchemist thing is he adds these little sound effects. So I have them as transitions. We're going to start talking about like moments in your music now, stuff that is catchy. So there's a section where I completely take out all the drums. See, what's good about these snares is that this one plays off beat and this one plays on beat. So you can layer it like this, and it creates a really cool bouncy pattern. And combined with this is the like riser effect. It has a really cool like re-transition into the music, and it comes on early enough that if you got bored of this original section, there is something like cool to focus on. See, the problem with these like 4-bar loops right here is that you need to keep it interesting, and you can't just block drums out, but it's a lot more fun to add other stuff. So also I have sections where I play the open hat every 4 bars. And then I have one where I play them double time. And this is a J. Cole technique. You actually see this 2-step open hat pattern on Neighbors. During the chorus, he randomly brings it in, and he has this volume envelope, which sort of like makes it louder as it plays, and then it stops. Or we use a little bit of gross beat later.
He's just killed little fucking manners.
Yeah, so we use a gross beat to do vinyl off. The original thing was I wanted the song to end here, but it looped back into the beginning and it sounded so cool, so I just kept the song going for a little bit longer. I also recently watched Goodfellas, and I wanted to give the Goodfellas shoebox scene another shot, so I have it here as like a hook.
He's just killed little fucking manners.
And around here, we also have like Robert De Niro interrupting the song.
No. You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
No, I didn't insult him. I didn't insult him.
A little bit.
Which makes the song sound a little more fun. I was also just reminiscing on Alfredo by The Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs, where he uses a lot of those like Mobb mafia movie samples. Lastly, like one of the greatest, like this area of music, like the hardcore, hip-hop, Neo-BoomBap, 90s, nostalgia sort of area, they give a lot of credit to the Wu-Tang Clan, and Cream is one of their most popular songs, and it has an intro where they use a sample from the song. Like Cream is a very simple loop, but RZA has a very complex sample chop in the beginning. I'm not saying this is complex, but I'm saying like I'm paying tribute to that by using a second sample chop from the beginning of the song as an intro, and it also invokes that like Griselda, WestsideGunn sort of feel, where it sounds like something's gonna happen. And I have like some more Goodfellas clips playing throughout.
He said no more shines. Maybe you can hear about it. You've been away a long time. They didn't go up there, tell you. I don't shine shoes anymore.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
What's good about sampling, if you want an intro, just take the part that starts before your sample and it'll transition perfectly into it. Of course, with all vocal stuff, I try to keep it consistent. I just have a little bit of reverb, big reverb, some decay, speed so it doesn't linger too long. But I think that's it. So I'm going to play the full thing right now. Thank you. Thank you for 100 subs.
He said no more shines. Maybe you can hear about it. You've been away a long time. They didn't go up there, tell you. I don't shine shoes anymore.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box. Fucking manners.
No. You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
No, I didn't insult him. I didn't insult him.
Insulted him a little bit.
Do with him. You can't just dump him on the street.
Don't worry. I know a place upstate. They'll never find him. Come on.